everyone. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi. We thought today we would talk about the chakras and their role in the manifestation process. We think that's a good one because a lot of people are curious about that. So let's just talk about that. What is the role that the chakras play in the manifestation process?
Yeah. Well, you probably find from a lot of our recordings that we do a lot of discussion about the energy centers and their communication between you and the divine part of you. So they play an important role in the link in what you are receiving in your lives based upon what you're sending out. Those energy centers are culminating a response all the time when you are living your life experience. Some of them you're going to be quite aware of. Sometimes you'll actually feel a little something in your stomach. Someone may say something that carries a pungency to it, or someone tell you about someone being hurt, and you might actually feel an engagement of the energy center, sometimes in your gut. Sometimes people will feel it down at the base of the spine. It could be felt there as well. So it's to understand that through our life experiences, those energy centers are reacting to the emotions that we send, and they are immediately transmitting that information or data to the divinity part of ourselves through that connection that you have to each of you.
Okay. All right. So I know we've discussed this at length many other times, but if someone new is joining just on this first time YouTube, can you just explain like a brief overview of each energy center and what it represents?
Yeah. Most of the time, if we find a human in the chair that they're in listening to a station or a broadcast such as the one we are doing now, this would indicate that the crown chakra is open. They would be receiving energy through the top of their head, and that would be provided to them through a perception or belief that they are more than just the human, that they have a divinity part of themselves that works alongside of them in the experience that they're in. So they, in other words, are open to this concept or understanding. They're not closed off to it. There are many humans who think they are just a human. Yeah, this is fine. It is the stage or place of development that they are now presently in. And it is something that one day they will transcend. But in the meantime, if you have the perception or belief that you are open to the spiritual teachings and understanding that you do play a big part in the creation process based upon how you feel, and that you are signaling a divine counterpart that is responding to you in every moment, in every feeling that you're having, this would signify that that crown is open. Then we go down from here into the third eye center. This is your clarity center, your ability to trust, your intuition, your knowing, feeling very solid in deciding what people are for you and not for you, not second guessing yourself or constantly needing the approval of someone else in something that you have decided. So you'd have this very clear understanding and base that you would draw your conclusions from if this center in the third eye were open and responding. One of the things that can greatly affect this center is trust and betrayals. If a human has had a lot of these types of experience in their life, they are emanating a feeling of distrust, and therefore the information that would come to them in the form of intuition, which they would need to be very trusting of, they are sending out a signal of distrust and therefore don't have the ability to really receive some of the information that would be a benefit to them as far as what direction to move in their life. And then if you go down into the throat center, this is how your communication is with others. Are you able to be in your truth? Do you allow others to be in their truth? Are you finding that you are having relationships that have ended because of poor communication? Or do you find that you are very harmonious in your way of communicating with others and find it very easy for you to talk and be smooth in that communication? And then if you were to continue moving down, we go now into the heart center. This is the relationship center. It would be where your primary relationships are, the ones with your family, your children, your co-workers, friends, anyone that you're in affiliation with. What is the overall health and wellness of relationships? Do you feel satisfied in them? Or do you feel as though there's a lot of conflict? Have you had to end relationships because of poor exchanges? These are the type of things that would signal that there's some energy contained in that center. And then if you continue on down, we have the stomach area. This would be the area of control. If you find yourself having to control others or people referring to you as controlling, most of the time you're not going to like yourself in that, but we would like you to understand that control is often adopted by some form of needing to protect oneself. That's why a person moves to control. And so if you felt as though others were trying to control you in your experience, this could also be a sign or signal that you actually have some energy trapped there. When people have a really open solar plexus in the gut area, they are often living their passion. It's not necessarily about money, but they're not working in a line of work just for money. They're actually doing something that they would be doing whether they were going to get paid for it or not. So sometimes this will be a good sign or signal if you're really expressing yourself in an occupation or in a form that makes you feel very satisfied and you are in your passion, then most likely this center is open and flowing pretty well. And then if you continue on, you go down into the sacral center. This is basically related to anything that you as a human are doing in form. It would be your sexual expression, your ability to dance, sing, artistic abilities, moving in freedom in your body and feeling uninhibited in it. All of these things would be a sign or signal that the center is up and working. If one had a lot of dissatisfaction in any of the areas that we are mentioning, or this feeling of not comfort or not self-assured, then this would generally be reflected in that center. And then if you go down to the base or the root chakra, this is where you feel really connected and grounded to the earth plane. And if, in fact, you felt very safe and grounded there, you would be able to provide the means for yourself to experience your life in exactly the way that you came here to do it. You are not to deny yourself anything that you want to experience. You did come here to be in your fullness and in your joy. And so if you decided that you wanted to travel, or you wanted homes in different locations, or whatever it is that you wanted, you have a right to that. Some people, when they have not obtained that, they will start to talk themselves out of it and say perhaps they don't need it. They should be happy with what they want. And we would not advise that you do this. Oftentimes when a human finally draws to themselves what it is that they've deposited in their universe by how they have felt, so it's already in there, basically you wanted it and it's been created and waiting for you. Once you experience it, then make the decision and decide whether in fact this is something that you really wanted in your experience or not, and then move from there and start the creation process over. So this gives you an overview or an understanding that each one of those energy centers are representative of an area of your life. You can have some centers that are really running well and have things go very well. You could have an open root and have lots of money coming in and feel very grounded and safe as far as being able to take care of yourself. But you could travel up into the relationship area and find yourself in a lot of trouble there. So it doesn't mean that because one center is balanced, all the others will be balanced. But one thing that we would like to mention is, as there is an imbalance that is left for a very long time, and energy starts to layer there, so more and more situations and circumstances are had that represent what you're feeling, this will actually slow that energy center down. And when that happens, it will start to transfer that energy into other centers. And so now you will start to affect other areas of your life with an emotion that will feel similar to the one that may have originated somewhere else to begin with.
All right. So a lot of people get confused about the rotation or the spin. They want to know which way is the right way, which way is the wrong way. What can you share with listeners about the rotation and spin of the centers and what that means?
Yeah, well, when an energy center is receiving a lot of energy, it creates a spin. It is spinning in a clockwise motion. That clockwise motion is actually drawing in more and more light energy with the amount of revolution or the speed at which it is circulating in. And so if all the centers are open, they are transferring to one another. And the level of energy that one can bring into their field, if they had all their energy centers open, would be remarkable. What they could accomplish as a human would seem otherworldly. Let's use that. Yeah. And so certainly you don't need all of the energy in order to live, but the more energy that you are able to achieve into your system, the more you are going to be able to produce as a human. Yeah.
Okay. So how does more energy affect, I mean, you may have partially already answered this, but how does having more energy in a center affect that center?
Yeah. So say, for example, that you become aware. And what do we always tell you? That awareness is your divinity consciousness. So you start to observe your chakras with an awareness, with your divine aspect of yourself, in other words, in the knowing that you are a conductor of light energy, that you have the ability to focus on those centers and influence the amount of light that is coming into them. That's basically what we are saying. Then you can actually start to focus on that column of light and invite it or instruct it to come in. You can actually focus on dropping open the petals of that flower to receive it, and then increase the spin with your focus and in your intention that you are the one that does that and able to do that. And your divinity aspect of you will respond to the request in your awareness of it, and it will actually release more light into your field. As that light enters the field and the increase of that spin and vibration comes to you, you start to rise. And in a rise of a vibration comes other levels of consciousness, or the ability to perceive at higher levels of consciousness. And so a human can start to create from a much healthier standpoint, from a much prosperous standpoint, from a preference or a preferred state of being that the divinity part of you has already received from you. So it isn't necessary that the chakras be vibrating at that high velocity or rate in order to send out, because that's going to be a given. You're always going to be sending out energy in the form of emotions. But in order for you to match what is coming back in the high vibration of it, you need to get those centers up and working and responding at the same level or rate that your source is, in order to receive the transfer of energy of what it has created for you by everything you have felt.
Okay. So relating these open chakras to manifestation, is it really just that simple then? If you really focus on opening and getting all of your chakras spinning and pulling in as much energy as we can, does that make our manifestation process nearly instantaneous? Or is there more we need to do?
Yeah. Well, oftentimes we talk about the level of resistance or incongruencies that a human holds within themselves that actually denies energy. But in some sense, what you just said is true. If you can get a lot of light energy coming into your field and really get your energy centers up and spinning and working properly, then the flow of experiences will come through that high vibration. What's going to happen is, if you are in a resistive state and you are opposing others and you are angry most of the time, and perhaps you are living in relationships that are not honoring to you, what's going to happen is you're going to have difficulty conducting light. You're going to have difficulty matching or drawing in that emanation into your field, because it's going to kick out a lot of negativity or experiences that are presently held in the center that you've not been able to let go of. Yeah. And there's a good reason for that. You really want to see what it is that you are holding, because it is what is preventative of you getting what you want. So if you start to do this practice where you're focused on your energy centers and you're drawing in the light to them, and you are asking them to pick up the speed of their spin, and you are intentionally practicing this focus, what may occur is you may get shown some things very quickly in your experience that resemble the negativity that you're holding. We've talked about this before. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's what people call the dark night of the soul. It's a kickoff of negativity in response. Hey, you've asked, here it is. This is what you're holding. And so now you have an opportunity. That's the way we'd like you to look at it. And you can be grateful and appreciative for that opportunity, rather than being disgusted by and disliking yourself and what you're seeing. Be grateful and appreciative that you are now seeing through this kickoff of experiences what it is that you've been holding on to that's actually preventing the flow of the very nice things that you are wanting to have come into your experience. So it is a process that one goes through. Once you start to focus on your energy centers, and you start to see things in your life that are expressed because what is held in there is starting to be kicking out, then be gentle with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. Don't condemn and judge anything that's happening in your life. Just move to the idea that I'm going to release this from my field with no judgment or condemnation, more of a compassionate understanding that my life experience has caused me, hear that, caused me to be jealous, or to be controlling, or to be angry, whatever it is. Some of the most enlightened people in the world are the ones that have been able to make space for everything within themselves. They do not deny anything. They allow all of the negativity, all of the shame, all of the blame, all of the jealousy, all of the rage, all of the anger, alongside of all of the things that they admire and love. Those are the people who are going to reach enlightenment. You cannot cast out anything that is within yourself and become whole, you see.
All right. I just wanted to touch on the Lionsgate portal. I think it's a window of time. I think it maybe started the process on July 26th, and the actual portal date is August 8th. And just even aside from that, there's lots of talk about there being a lot of high frequency energies that are coming to us and to our bodies and affecting our DNA. What can you tell us about that? Because I know there's a lot of people that are working on themselves and their chakra system, but is or are these light energies that are coming and affecting our DNA assisting this process along and essentially speeding it up for some people? And what more could you offer about this in the Lion's Gate?
Yeah, so presently we're talking about giving a practice or an understanding to people that they can focus on their own energy centers and therefore increase the vibratory rate or the spin or the energy that's coming into themselves. And those that don't have any idea of this and those that are not even on a spiritual journey, they're the ones that you're speaking about alongside of, we would say, even the ones that are doing the work. But those that have not even had a knowing of it are going to be stimulated by the things that you have referred to. Yeah. It is the same thing that happened after the solar eclipse when Robin did the transmission about noticing some acceleration of even negativity in herself that she was quite surprised came out after those solar eclipses occurred. And it's the same thing with this Lion's Gate. It's the same thing with all of the DNA activations that you're talking about, is people are all around you are going to become stimulated. They're going to become understanding and knowing of how they create. And oftentimes it comes through suffering. A human can just take so much, so much of what they do not want to feel in their life. And eventually they call out, there's a call within themselves that they are tired of it, that they want to experience something better than what they are going through. So that rise in suffering, that rise in negativity, that very natural process that one goes through is actually what propels you to higher levels of consciousness. Everyone at some point will, in their distaste of what they are experiencing, emanate out a call of which the universe will answer. And eventually, in some sort of an alignment, they will come into contact with someone or something that will assist them in that goal.
All right. Thank you. Well, hopefully that has been informative for everyone. We thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Heidi, we would like you to give them an overview of the things that we
Oh,
have
yeah.
come and the different websites that they can obtain information about if they should so choose to. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the reminder. So we are continuing our group activations. We have one coming up. I believe it's on August 22nd. If you are interested in learning anything more about that, you can go to our website, athenaintruth.com, and look under the courses tab. We also have our member Q&A, which is where we do one monthly live edition where you can come on and ask Athena questions. We also answer questions via email in that membership. And then we have Athena Universe, which is another platform that's been started, and there's a free program. I believe there's a couple of different paid options. You can visit that website at athenauniverse.com to see what's available there. I think that is pretty much anything. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
I think so. I think that covers everything.
Okay, so please check out all that information and get involved if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you all. Goodbye.